Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Satnam, welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind, and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live, and thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. Today we're going to talk about the human design transit reading for the new moon in Sagittarius that is happening tomorrow night in the Pacific coast and early in the morning on December 1st on the East Coast. Tomorrow we're going to be doing our ceremony, and I'll be doing the card reading, the Akashic reading, and playing music. It's going to be super, super fun. So I invite you to that. And before we dive into looking at this, I do want to share a couple of things, tell you a couple of announcements. So first of all, the Moon Goddess Training 2025 is now open for registration, but better yet, I am now officially have a free mini course that I'm going to be doing in January before the Moon Goddess Training starts. Hello, Jeanette. Welcome in. And so you can register for it. Please come and join us. Hello, Bernadine. And it's going to be so fun. What I've done is I've taken 3 Sundays before we actually start Moon Goddess training. And so the first Sunday, we're going to meet for like 3 hours. So you're really going to get a taste of like what the program is about. The first week, we're going to do Introduction to Level 1. The second week, we're going to do Introduction to Level 2. And the third week is Introduction to Level 3. And basically, you're going to get a taste of different things that we do within the training that are meant to help you step into your power, to help you understand yourself, which is what this whole program is all about, so that you can live fully in your design. So like I just mentioned, this program is a 3-part series. And in level 1, we learn the fundamentals. In level 2, we learn to apply the teachings deeply into our personal life, working with trauma, healing shadows, working to transmute shadows into gifts. And then level 3 is the actual Akashic reader certification. So you do become certified as an Akashic record reader when you do this program. So the free mini Moon Goddess training starts January 12th. And you can sign up through my website. If you already have an account in our global community in Mighty Networks, all you have to do is click the menu bar, and on the left-hand side, you scroll down to where it says Moon Goddess Training, and in there you will see this free mini Moon Goddess Training, and you just request to join the space. It says it's a private space, but all you have to do is just request to join, and then I will accept your request for anybody that's wanting to come in. And I encourage you to go to my website and check out all this amazing information, including dates, details about all of the different topics that we're going to be covering in the training. All 3 levels, the information for all 3 levels is actually found here. And in between now and then, actually, you can check out also, there's another free thing in there that is an Akashic healing retreat that we did a couple years ago, where we go through each of the temples. And I also talk a little bit about, so this is kind of like the introduction to level 1, like a deeper dive into level 1. So you can check that out too between now and January, where we are going to go live for our free mini training. It's going to be amazing. So one thing that I added to the website, which I'm really excited about, is the reviews of goddesses that have graduated from the training. So you can go through here and read what goddesses are saying and have said about the Moon Goddess Training. It is an amazing, amazing program. The other thing that I want to share with you guys is I am having a holiday sale. And two actually. One of them is the holiday reading that includes a copy of my book, Seasons and Stargates, Your Annual Astrology Guide 2024 and 2025. And it's $108 for the reading and the book. And the other sale is going on my Etsy store. That one's only going through, I believe, the 21st of December, because that's when I'm going to go out of town. So if you're looking for essential oil blends, starseed essential oil blends, I have jewelry on there. I also have the workbook for the Seasons and Stargates as an ebook on there as well. Then go to my Etsy store. It's called Eagle Star Jewels on Etsy. And again, all of this, there's links below in the description that basically take you to all of these different places. So feel free to check them out. And now let us dive into this human design transit reading for this new moon in Sagittarius. So yesterday we talked about the astrology. If you missed that broadcast, make sure you check it out. The astrology of this moon is really powerful. We have the ruler, which is Jupiter. He's actually retrograde. And we have Mercury, which is the ruler of Gemini, which is where Jupiter is in Sagittarius, retrograde as well. And they are inviting us into deep contemplation, deeper philosophical understanding. And they are, essentially with the language of the Gene Keys, we're moving out of the shadow of inertia to the gift of determination and the city of invincibility. Basically meaning that the energy of this moon is like looking at places where we feel stuck, reluctant to move, unable to get things going, and to somehow transmute that shadow so that we can find more determination in our lives to actually do the things that we want to do. And that energy essentially requires a lot of focus. And here we learn that this 9th gene key, translating into the human design chart, is called the 9th gate, is actually a gate in the sacral center. You can see also that the transits of this specific new moon in this specific day, according to the human design, do not complete any channel. So it's a bunch of hanging gates. However, if you look at your own chart and you have one of the gates on the other side of any of these hanging gates, you will have a complete channel in your chart. So you really have to look at your chart and compare it to see if how this is affecting me, in my own life. But let's talk about the center that this moon is happening in. So 9th gate is in the sacral, and the sacral is the center for life force energy. It's the center for manifestation, and essentially the energy that flows through this center is will serve us best when we are using it naturally and intuitively for the things that we love. So obviously, if we have this shadow of inertia where we can't move, maybe it's because we're doing something that we don't love. Or maybe it's because we haven't yet found that thing that really like activates that energy within us. So there's one aspect of it. So this is energy. So like all of these gates are going to kind of talk to us about some kind of energy, life force energy that can channel through us, that can bring in inspiration and the desire and the energy to actually complete the thing that we want to do. So if you have anything on the 52nd gate, then you are going to have this channel complete. And if you do, that means that your root center and your sacral center will be defined, and you will feel during this moon, if you don't have them defined, you feel as if the energy is there. You can kind of take advantage of it, and you'll also feel as if you're able to deal and move through challenging things in life that maybe cause stress. And it really all has to do with us remembering that only by understanding the natural flow of things in life can we really apply our focus to create them and to make them happen. And that's really what these two energies are about. In fact, let me read from the Human Design book about these two gates. So the 9th gate is called the gate of focus, and also described as the taming power of the small. People with an ability for prolonged focus and detail work, as long as they can maintain the discipline of sitting still. This is the gate of determination and commitment to a process that involves great staying power. So essentially this moon is like, there are things to create, there are things to manifest, but they're not just going to happen out of nowhere. Like, you have to focus your energy and your intention and determination to actually pull through fully to the other end of the manifestation. So these people can maintain a single focus and are naturally gifted in handling details. This gate is related to the mental gate, the 62, which is the preponderance of the small. Without the 52, these people can find it hard to still themselves enough to channel their energies in a single direction. So it might feel scattered if we don't have the 52. We might feel a little bit scattered, but ultimately what it's going to take is focus. So if you don't have the 52, how can you find ways to still yourself, to still your mind, so that you can settle the energy and actually focus on the details that are needed to be focused on? On the other side of this channel, which is the channel of concentration, you have the 52nd gate, which is the gate of stillness, keeping still mountain. People with deep staying power, as long as they can find the right outlet through which they can be of service. This gate fuels the whole understanding circuit with the frequency of focus and concentration. So the understanding circuit is a circuit in human design that calls in that has a desire to know and understand how things work, and to see whatever isn't working, to like critique whatever isn't working, so that the system itself, whatever it is that's not working, can be improved. So the energy can be a little bit intense to receive. Like my husband has, his only defined channel is in the understanding circuit, and it's the channel of judgment. And he has this really concentrated energy of judging things with, it's like a judging eye, but it's not a negative thing. It's actually, if we didn't have this energy in the world, then we wouldn't really be able to like fix things and continue improving things in the world. So this energy of focus, part of it has to do, it's like a piece of that puzzle of making the world a better place, improving things, all of that. And so in this 52nd gate is where we can have the staying power. We can, be still and focus, be still so that we can focus our attention on one thing. So this gate fuels the whole understanding circuit, like I just mentioned, frequency of focus and concentration. It is a gate of passive tension. These people experience a kind of locked pressure to remain in one place without moving, and this can sometimes be mistaken as antisocial behavior. With the presence of the 9, their energy can be released into one single focused stream. Without the 9th, there is no potential to focus, but without the knowledge of what to focus their energy on. So there's potential to focus, but no knowledge of what exactly to focus your energy on. So a lack of focus in these people can lead to tension, restlessness, and depression. And this is the so-called Buddha gate, the ability to still the physical body and the senses and use energy in a focused way. So you're kind of getting the idea of like the energy of this new moon through the lens of human design. With a new moon, we're setting intentions. With a new moon, we are starting a new cycle. And so we're planting seeds. So if the 9th gate is the gate of focus, essentially this new moon is a great opportunity to plant the seeds and put in our intent and our intention to focus ourselves on something that is going to be like long term, that we can like sit still and actually fully complete. So I'm curious. Hello, Jacqueline. Welcome in. So I'm curious about what are you guys feeling? How are you guys feeling this energy within yourselves at this time? Because we're still in a dark moon right now, and it can feel quite intense. I know personally today definitely 100% feels dark moon-ish to me. And the energy flows. So it's high and it's low. And, you have to continue to just stay as best as you can, surrender to that flow. So, but regardless of that, this new moon does open up a door for us to really focus. So what are you going to focus on? What are you being drawn to focus on, to concentrate on? We have to do our best to find ways, and you can do this through meditation. You can do this through yoga, where you like kind of get all the kind of excess energy and stress out of the body so that you can sit still and focus. It's kind of like the opposite of this energy is like the ADHD energy, where you're like all over the place trying to do a million things at once. But this moon is saying like, how about we just focus on one thing? So what would that one thing be for you? I'm just curious to see how it's coming up for you and manifesting in your life. Now, the ruler of this moon is Jupiter. And Jupiter finds himself in the throat center on the 45th gate. So let's look at that real quick, because this will give us a little bit of more insight into where the energy is being disposited towards. Like, where are we going to find the biggest kind of manifestation of the energy? And remember that Jupiter is currently retrograde. So everything that we're feeling right now is more of an internal expression of the energy. So it'll be more like contemplating within instead of like manifesting from without. So the 45th gate is called the gate of the gatherer, or gathering together. So it's like Jupiter's gathering together. These are people who are here to oversee the future of the wealth in the community. Interesting. I will also note that this is a gate in the throat center, which is about manifestation. This gate is symbolized by the archetype of the monarch. This is the autocratic tribal leader who represents the voice of the community and gives the final seal of approval to any new law. These people are here to educate others in how to come together in more efficient ways for the benefit of the future health and wealth of the community. Their style of leadership is to govern in the traditional way simply by being at the top of the hierarchy. The 45 always needs a prime minister, the 21, to manage their kingdom, as they don't like to get their own hands dirty. These people love to have other people working for them, running their business or helping to manage the family affairs. So this is that energy. And this one is also called the money line, the 4521, which is ego circuit. So ego, or the ego circuit is a tribal circuit. So it does have to do with community. So there's an aspect of this Jupiter kind of dispositing the energy where we're thinking about the tribe. We're thinking about what's the best for the tribe. And we're contemplating, we're figuring it out, we're like understanding all of these different things. And the ego circuit has to do with its self-focus. So there's both tribal and ego, which have to do with like not just me, myself, and I, but if I'm the leader of this community, what decisions do I need to make? So that's self-focus to actually take care of my community. So in essence, it's like a king is not a king without the people, so that's the energy here. Is we may be thinking a lot about our community. We may be thinking a lot of the groups that we're a part of, like how we step into leadership in the world and how we express that out into the world. And where in our lives are we a leader? Like, how is this manifesting in our lives, and what can we do to focus our energy so that we can be like a better king or a better queen in our community, like in our kingdom. And of course, these are all words that we use to describe the energy, and there's many different other, manifestations of it, but that's kind of what's coming through for me right now. So again, there's a lot of retrograde energy, and we're being invited to really contemplate before we just like jump out there and take action. But essentially, to summarize, this new moon is in the sacral center, which has the potential to give you energy, and also has the potential to help you focus your energy on one thing. And then Jupiter is dispositing this energy through the 45th, which is in the throat center, which is about manifesting. How is that focus going to be manifested outwards? So right now we focus on one thing, and then eventually it'll reach outwards. What's the total number of, somebody asked how many circuits are there? Okay, so I just kind of go through them in my mind because I don't have a specific number. So we have the individual circuit, that's one. We have, which is the knowing circuit or the centering circuit, which I guess essentially could be two, but individual circuitry is one. Understanding circuit is another one. Sensing circuit is another one. Tribal circuitry is another one. And then we have something called the integration channel. So I guess essentially 5, but again, there's more than one for like each of those energies. So it could be 5 or more depending on how you're looking at it and like defining it. But yeah, and so that's why it's so cool to know the circuits, because each one of them has a different energy. And in this case, the understanding circuit, like I said, has to do with understanding and deciphering what's working, what's not working, so that we can improve things. That's why we need to focus. And so maybe that's how maybe we're learning right now how to improve things in our own lives, so that our community can be better. You know what I mean? There's like a underlying theme underneath each circuit. And then with the Jupiter energy in the ego circuit, has to do with, like I mentioned, it's like tribal ego circuitry and the group, and how to be, how can I be of service? How can I be a leader to make my community better? So I'm thinking about myself, but it's for the collective, not like the collective as in like the whole world. The collective as in like my tribe. So we have like sometimes we have many different tribes that we're a part of, but mostly this is referring to the really close tribe. Like this could be like my family, this could be like within my group of friends, like immediate family. And then like this is close knit groups that we're talking about. It's not like collective frequency. So so anyways, that's, those are the big themes of this moon. And it may feel a little bit like, for me personally, what I'm feeling right now is because when we're looking at this transit chart, there's no completed channels. So the energy of the transits, it's kind of like, it feels a little bit out there. It feels a little bit like expansive. It feels a little bit, like it's floating. When you see a chart like this, you would normally say, okay, this looks like a reflector. And reflector energy, although there's no body connected to transits, that's why we only look at the personality side, because those are the transits. The design side has to do with someone incarnating into a physical body. You have to have a body to have design energy. You have to actually be incarnated on this earth in the physical time-space reality. However, if you were thinking about, okay, well, like sometimes the transits do complete channels, sometimes the transits like fill in the centers. And if they do, then you feel that influence in your chart, but this one is not. So it can feel, to me, what I'm interpreting here and feeling and channeling is that it feels a little bit floaty, feels a little bit like out there. That could also be the influence of the dark moon that we are experiencing right now, as I am actually recording this video. Jeanette says, I've been thinking these last few days about our moon goddess community. We can feel our soul connections to each other. Yes, yeah, we do, for sure, for sure. That's a great example, like close-knit communities that you interact with, often, and you feel a bond. So the tribal energy is bond. So these are people that you are bonded to in some way, shape, or form. And so the tribal circuitry has to do with protecting the bond, protecting the people in the community. Not like, it's not about people out there. There is a role within that tribal circuitry that has to do with like, there are some energies that invite outsiders into the community, but they have to have like the right invitation. They have to be accepted into the space, into the community. So that's the energy that I'm talking about. It's very close-knit communities, bonds, that we need to protect, especially when it comes to family and children. That's a big part of the tribal circuitry. So that's what we have to deal with. And one of the things that fascinates me about looking into human design and astrology and the gene keys is that they really are different systems, but well, what's the word I'm looking for? They complement each other. So it's like we can look at the energy of the new moon through human design and get a completely different reading than when we're looking at the astrology. But when you put it all together, it really helps to understand. So I can show you real quick what it would look like if I find my chart. So I'm a mental projector. This is my chart. And let's do a transit chart. So this is how you would, figure this out. We're going to do a transit chart for me. It's going to be for right now. Or we can actually do it for the new moon, which is happening at, I think it was 2120. And that's, yeah, it was at 21. No, it wasn't 21. It was 23. 20. So we'll see if this works or not. Let's just create the chart. Okay. So remember all of those gates that we were looking at, like in the personality side? Like if you're looking at this, the stuff in purple are the transits, and the stuff in green is me, right? So the purple gates in the transit are completing quite a bit of channels for me. For example, I have the 35 And this is a channel between the 35, 36. So Neptune is on the 36 right now, which means that this channel, the 35, 36 on the right side of the screen, is being completed. So I'm feeling like this has been going on for a while. Now, remember I was just talking about that Jupiter's on the 45. Well, I have a planet on the 21. So the money line is actually completed for me right now. Not only that, at this moment, the 2644 is also completed because I have something on the 44 and there is a planet on the 26, which is Saturn. So my Mercury and Saturn and transiting Saturn are completing this channel, which is called the channel of surrender. This is good. This is really cool. This is how you do your transit reading in human design. I have a planet, I think it's Mars on the first gate, and Uranus is on the 8th gate, which means this channel of inspiration is completed for me because I have Mars and my design, or it could be, design Saturn, and then Uranus is on the 8th gate. And let's see, one more down here. Okay, this is interesting. The channel of judgment is an energy that is completed for me, and it has to do with, on the 58, I have design Jupiter there, and then the south node is on the 18th. So the south node, I mean, there's like karmic work happening here for me. And this is how it works. Now I have, let's look at my 9, which is where the moon is at, right? I have something on the 9th, which means that this is an energy that is being highlighted. Hello, Venus, welcome in. It's in my chart, right? So I have, we've got the south node, my design south node. That's my energy. And then personality, the sun and the moon are there. And so that's the new moon. So it's my south node. So my south node, wow, like this is actually, I hadn't even looked at this before, but my south node, which is how I'm dealing with karma, this moon is basically on my south node. And that means that I'm doing karmic work during this time. So you see how this works? This is very, 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 very cool. So there you have it. So I do feel a little bit more complete than normal. But also these transits, they're not here forever. So sometimes they can take you out of who you are. Like sometimes transits can affect you in a way that they take you out of yourself and they make you experience something else. And then you have to it's almost like they're teaching you to find yourself again. So this stuff is so cool, so fascinating, and all of these things are like crazy rabbit holes that we dive into. But I like having the money line and the channel of surrender completed right now because I feel that the ego energy is very strong for me. The willpower feels strong for me right now. Although at the same time, I'm going through a lot of emotional waves and feeling a lot of emotional frequency. And we kind of all are because Neptune is on the solar plexus. So that's our transit reading for the new moon via the lens of human design. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that this reading. Please check out all the links below in the description to learn more about what I offer. Come join us in the global community. Check out my holiday sales. And I hope you guys have an awesome, beautiful, and powerful new moon in Sagittarius tomorrow into Sunday. Basically, this weekend, we're really going to feel this energy reach its climax. I'm also going to be back tomorrow night for our new moon Akashic Records reading. And I'll be playing some music. If it's not too cold, it's been kind of cold, but I'll be playing some music and sharing original songs. So Sat Nam, have a good night, and I will see you tomorrow.